Peace, peace, and bliss to everyone who has tuned in. I want to say thank you, dua, so much for tuning in to the very first and introductory video of A Wasted Species. Well, y'all know I'm goofy. Well, y'all don't know. Well, my people do, but for everyone, of course, who's tuning in for the first time, this is also my first time tuning into YouTube. I am introducing myself as the Chameleon Goddess. And I, to go into why I call myself the Chameleon Goddess, is because um, all my life, um, even though I am deeply melanated, um, it seems that the people who were looking just like me just didn't want to be my friends. So my friends were Asian, Caucasian, Indian. I was friends with everyone. And from getting that sort of diversity with friends, it made me somewhat transparent or um, easy to adapt to my surroundings. And so I thought that was a lot like a chameleon. I could have been the octopus goddess because octopuses also change colors, but I have a fascination with reptilians, and I love the capability of a chameleon and that it does not move too fast. It sort of does its own thing, and it's just so cool to me. So that's just a little bit about where that name came from. Now, A Wasted Species. That name came from basically A Wasted Species is now going to be my brand. So my products that come out will be under A Wasted Species. Um, and what I do is I make jewelry, I make lip gloss, candles, uh, lotions, body soaps, just all natural products. I'm basically trying to get into because I want to be more on the healing side of things and holistic and natural, and I want to go back to the ancient ways of our ancestors, our forefathers, and our foremothers. Um, so that's just a little bit about where I got the name Wasted Species. I will be making a YouTube, I'm sorry, not a YouTube, a Facebook, Twitter, IG, all for A Wasted Species, and where you will be able to purchase A Wasted Species products. So please be on the lookout for that. And if you are still listening for this long, I would like to say thank you so much for being here. You are greatly appreciated. And a message that I had to tell myself that I want to tell to you is that you are worth it. I know you get tired of hearing the same cliche phrases and things like that, but in all honesty, they're cliche because the truth is actually more simple than what we would like to make it. It's the lie that is complicated. So, um, now, um, so the first topic that I really want to make sure that I address is not to, we can get so hard on ourselves to the point where we feel like we shouldn't be around, or the things that we do just don't matter. And I'm just here to say that some way, somehow it does. You may not see it, but I promise you on down the line, if you really want to know, the answers will be opened unto you. And that's that one there. But yes, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the awakening. That's what I'm wanting to call it, or the removing of the veil. And sorry if y'all hear these things here in the background. Those are my bracelets. I did decide to do this audio. My next one will be visual, with me talking and also with me adding and editing different pictures and such. It's just that I wanted to go ahead and bring out this channel because I've talked about it for at least a year now. People told me years ago that you should start a YouTube, and I'm just starting to view myself with the world's eyes, or the people's eyes that I've come across who fall in love with my light, basically. Um, so the awakening that has been happening, it's like, it's crazy because it's like coronavirus has basically been an awakening. The word corona in Spanish means crown, right? And a lot of people, especially spiritual, they are, speaking like, oh, they call this the king virus, and it is the king virus because look what it's doing to people. It's killed the most people ever. And yes, I definitely understand that, but I also like to see it as, if it's calling itself a king virus, it is king because it is the the basically the gate to open up the entire world, not just one people, not just one species. I feel like everything, including plants, even the moon and the sun, even the planets, everything is moving in a way that is new to us. But if we were living in ancient times, this will just be another cycle of the wheel, basically. And I want everyone to know that this is definitely a devastating time for a lot of us, but it is also a time, excuse me, it's a time for us to finally wake up. It shouldn't have took something this drastic for the mass awakening to happen. But if that is what it took, that's what the universe put in place so that we can all be here today. And definitely getting this knowledge and getting back to, as I say, the ways of the ancestors, and walking in their footsteps and the things that they left for us originally. And actually, in order to do that, we have to go through the very first steps. So, the first step basically would be to feel the situation out, get to know the surroundings, get to know everything about what is going on, how it's going on, what started it going on. So that's basically what I'm about, getting back to originality, going back to the source. Who was the first person here? How did the first pen and paper get established? Things like that is what I'm wanting to get to the root of, and as well as open it to the eyes of other people so that we can all get together in a think tank and make sure we leave the necessary energy behind for our ascendance to come. Um, and now a lot of people may think that I talk a little backwards, but when I say ascendance, um, that we are the ascendants. A lot of people say we're the descendants of the people of the past. Well, actually, they are the descendants. We are the ascendants. We're ascending up as we're being born. Um, so, a lot of my theory and logic come from an array of books, people who are, who are profound on YouTube, and as well who give out resources and things for you to do further research on yourself, for yourself. And that is what I am about today. Not just today, but in general. Um, and again, if you're still here and you're listening, I want to thank you. Thank you so much, because you're here for a reason, and you're here because you know something's not right. You know that you came here to be a beacon of light and not to be dimmed. And right now, you're being dimmed. And I'm here to tell you, actually, you're not being dimmed. You've always shined as bright as you were ever meant to be. Always. And that's something that we forget sometimes, allowing this quote unquote matrix to layer over us and become the reality when we are souls inhabiting fleshly vessels and not the other way around. So, with that phrase, I also would like to go to how truth is stranger than fiction. In the movies, like the movie Avatar with the blue people, how there were, this realm, these people or these species that were so connected to the earth and anciently rooted and deeply connected to their DNA, basically. And you've seen an outside species have the ability to inhabit a suit that is the same as the species of the world that is inhabited. And a lot of people would think that, that's far-fetched and crazy to think that, something that's in a movie could ever be done in real life. Well, that's what my channel is here to tell you. It actually is very possible. A lot of the things that we have popularized as fantasy are actually truth, and the things that we popularize as truth is actually fantasy. So that's what I'm here for, guys. We're here for this together. This is for each other to grow, to learn, and to each teach. We all have to teach each other, because if we rely on one person to do it, they can't. They can't. They just don't have it. Just one person just cannot do it. It takes that one person to plant that seed into another person who wants to spread that to someone else. And even though someone is not receptive of the seed, just because the soil didn't want the seed at the time doesn't mean that I did not plant it. And speaking of that, I got some plants that I need to go water. It's been a week for sure. But yes, never ever get discouraged. I want to let the people know there's another message coming for the spiritual people. Never let you planting your seed discourage you. Because when you plant a seed in the soil, it does not bloom overnight. It takes time. It takes watering as well. So don't be discouraged that the first, when you first planted that seed initially, the soil, which would be the other person, seemed like they rejected it. But all along, that seed was really nurturing and doing what it needed to do to grow for itself. And whether that be, 30 days, 60 days from now, or even 30 years from now, I promise you, the seed that you plant in the person, no matter how long it takes for it to grow for them, they will be graciously grateful of you. And when every time they think about that subject, they will come back and think about you and the energy and the seed that you planted within them that they didn't even know grew until they had the allotted amount of time to discover and gauge for themselves. Ashe. So, um, yeah, that's definitely something I wanted to touch bases on. And before I go, because I did not want to make this a long video, simply because I'm not doing how I wanted. My face is not together. My room is not together, and I know it's not about that at all. But I have a character, and when I present the chameleon goddess, that's who I want you to know, and how I want you to know her as. But until then, this is the voice of the chameleon goddess. I am enjoying the fact that I have set something in place for me to challenge and stimulate myself while having the ability to teach others and plant seeds within others and help us all become balanced within, because everyone wants to say, oh, positivity, positive, I'm positive, I only want, only positive vibes only, and too much of one thing, rather it is good, can be bad. So within everything, we have to find balance. If you look at the yin and the yang, if I can, I'll try to put a picture of it here if I'm that good at the editing. But yeah, I put a picture of the yin and yang. And as you'll see, within the entire circle, it is evenly split into two halves. One being black, one being white. Within the white, there is a circle of black. Within the black, there is a circle of white. Therefore, that should give you the concept that one cannot exist without the other, or within lightness is darkness, and within darkness there is always light. So however you want to take that, I pray that you get the opening and understanding, and that you catch this rise that we are into the fifth dimension. Now, I mean, and I might be late. I don't know. Somebody told me we was rising to the sixth. So I'm like, and then you have somebody else who says that we're rising to the ninth. So men know not by being told. Okay? That's why the people that I look at on YouTube, I love them, because they encourage you to not listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to any of the things that I'm saying. Don't believe it. Do your own research and see for yourself. Be your own scientist. You know, that is very important. And I want to thank everybody who came to the channel today, who subscribed, who hit that ring, that bell on there, because I will be dropping more videos. I can't say when. I just knew that I had to drop this today, and I wanted to be a woman of my word and make sure that you guys know what is coming. And shout out to everybody who showed immediate love as soon as I gave notice about what I was doing and what I was planning to do. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. And I just hope that we can just get bigger from here. Bigger, better, as not only individuals, but as a mass, for sure. Again, I am the Chameleon Goddess. This is a wasted species, and I hope to see you next time. Peace and bliss.